Hey you guys, how have you been? I've missed you so much. It has been like the craziest couple weeks. I'm not even kidding you. If I told you all the things that have happened in the last 2 weeks, you would not even believe me. But we're all good. We made it through the storm. Lots of storms, and we were a little ragged over the weekend, but I decided instead of putting out really not great videos, it was better if I just took the time that I needed to spend on my business and do the events that I had going on, as well as be with my kids as much as I could in between those events. I had pretty much stuff going on every single day last week, from making products, herbal products, and planting up starts. I potted up the peppers for 5.5 hours one day last week. It was insane. And then just different events. So there's been so much going on, and I just want you guys to know, like, I if life gets crazy, I will take a break from YouTube as I need to. But of course, we're still planning on putting out regular videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I had planned on letting you guys know it was gonna get crazy, but then it got crazier than I even expected. And so I didn't even have time to put that video out there. So a lot has happened since I have seen you last. So thank you for being here with me. If you're new to our farm, welcome, or new to our channel, thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you go. We're going to talk about plants today because there is a lot going on. My nickname is the Crazy Plant Lady, of course. If you've been here for a while, you probably know that. But if you haven't been here, I'm about ready to show you a little secret and the reason why they call me the Crazy Plant Lady. I can't help it, you guys. I can't. My life revolves around plants, from all the way from starting them and seeds, all the way through harvesting them and cooking for my family. And then, of course, you know, just the odd plant here and there that I just can't help myself. So this year we've decided that we are going to host a plant sale, like a seedling sale. Here's some of the ones that we'll have available. These guys, shush, it's okay. Just, I forgot about them. Their pots are coming. They won't be here for a week, so that's why they're a little leggy, but they'll be just fine. Basically, by choosing to kind of begin what will eventually be a nursery, we're gonna just start out with a plant sale. That's, I don't know, there'll be details on the Facebook page, so go ahead and, you know, jump over there and check that out. I will put details here on this channel once I have them. I'm just not entirely sure what it's gonna look like yet until the month of May. So I am planning on starting that in the month of May, just so you know, if you're local especially. We won't be shipping any plants, just so you know. Okay, so I think that I have taken my Crazy Plant Lady self up like 10 notches. Yeah, and you're gonna see why. So today is going to be a kind of a short video. I just wanted to say hi, I'm still alive. I haven't left YouTube or anything. And then also I wanted to show you what's going on in the house with all these plants. And then either Wednesday's video or Friday's video is going to be a big greenhouse cleanup day, because it is a mess in there and we need to start being able to take plants like this out to the greenhouse. It's not heated, but we'll go over all that kind of stuff. Greenhouse tour, cleaning up the greenhouse, we'll do that together. But today it's pouring with rain, so and then Friday is gonna be like an update on the animals and kind of a goodbye to our piggies, because harvest date is coming up quick, like very, very quick. So anyway, you'll see that. We'll get to say goodbye to them, see what's kind of gone great with them and what hasn't gone very great with them. But we'll go through all of those details on Friday's video. So for now, let's just stick with plants, and we have a lot to cover. So right here in front of me are I don't think you guys are gonna be able to see these anyway, but I will spin them around so maybe you can see the tags. But basically, these are pansies and petunias. We started these back in January, and I've been testing out for quite some time the best time frame to start these plants for our area. If you don't know, we are a channel that's based out of North Idaho, and so we're a very cold climate. Our growing season is super short, and because of that, it's kind of tricky to figure out exactly when you can plant stuff, because we're not really sure when our last frost date will be. It could vary by an entire month, which is a huge variant. So I am really happy with this. Even though it takes up a huge amount of space in my house for a very long time, these pansies are going to be able to go out into the unheated greenhouse here probably. Well, honestly, I could probably put them out there today, but it is raining and I don't really feel like trekking out there back and forth up several times. So I think that these guys could probably hang out in there within the next week or so. I may have to bring them in at nighttime. I'll definitely have to watch the temperatures, but that is a really great thing about pansies, is they're very cold hardy. Our hope is to be able to get flowers on these, like some of the very first flowers, because these are all edible, which is awesome. The petunias, on the other hand, are, well, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're edible or not. We don't eat them. We use them for hanging baskets. But I'm kind of disappointed because I lost this tray. I didn't realize I had this tray when I was potting everything else up, but I ran out of my 6-packs anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But they're still stuck in these plugs, which is really not awesome. That's why they're getting very leggy. I may cut them back and make them be bushier, but I need to do a little research on whether or not that's a safe thing to do with them. If you know already if you can pinch petunias, will you leave it down in the comments for me? Save me a step. But these will all get potted up into 6-packs next week as soon as they arrive. So that's kind of what's going on here. We have all kinds of varieties of them. We started them all from seed, and most of the seed for these guys came from Baker Creek. If you're interested, I will leave a link down in the description for you. All right, let's go take a look at some of the other shelves. My house is filled with plants, okay? Like filled to the point I need to start more seeds, and I'm not sure where to put them. The great thing is that all the snow is finally starting to melt. Suddenly we had this big shift in weather, which I don't know if you've heard the old adage, in like a lion, out like a lamb. I have found that to be very true in all of my years here in North Idaho, and so planning on that, March totally came in like a lion, and so I'm expecting a major shift in weather, and all of a sudden all the feet of snow that we still have outside is melting, and it's melting very rapidly. So that's great news for the greenhouse and for these plants. That will make more room in my house so that I can start new seeds, but we're kind of in this little tight spot for now. So what is happening under here? Hi. Do you want to say hi too? That's nice. Oh, you're so sweet. You're soaking wet. She loves it when I get on the floor with her and play. So anyway, all right, we have some peppers under here that we just recently potted up, as well as some more pansies. We have 3 trays under these lights. So these are full spectrum, actual like grow lights, but they're very cold. They don't produce a lot of heat. So they're not ideal for peppers, but I did run out of heated space for the peppers. And so I'm just monitoring things, and if I need to switch trays around, I will definitely do that. You can see these guys, well, let's pull one out here. We had started these also back in February, I believe, and we actually grow peppers a little bit differently than a lot of things. We start them all like this, all bunched up together. These are just extras. Again, I ran out of pots, so I decided I couldn't quite throw these in the compost bin. I figured I'll just hold out and wait till we get new 6-packs. So basically we just separated them out. I would have preferred to have done this a little bit sooner, but again, I'm really tight on space, so it's okay though. Some of them are they're a little leggier than I would prefer, but they're gonna be just fine. It's not a huge deal. Some of these that were really tiny are already growing more leaves, and yeah, they're doing really well. I will give you guys a close-up of this shelf for sure, but out in front we have a moringa. It's the only one that survived out of the other. I think I planted 4 and only one of them survived. I had a couple of them come up and then they just died right away, and I'm not sure why that was. And then I had this one that has been thriving really well, and then I had another one that just never sprouted. So that's okay. I really only wanted one moringa. Moringa is like a really good herb for supposedly a lot of different issues, but it's also highly nutritious. So this is a dwarf moringa. It's gonna have to stay in the house, but it's kind of fun. Like I'm not very good with houseplants, and part of that is because I live in a very dark house. Not right now, you could probably see my house from space, but generally speaking, when I don't have the grow lights in here, it's really dark. So I think that if I have plants that are useful plants in my house, like I have an aloe vera, a rosemary, and now this moringa, and I have an avocado. I might be more apt to take better care of them. I am really good at taking care of plants outside the house, but I'm really not good about taking care of houseplants. And I've heard so many gardeners say that. I don't know what the deal is, but I would really like to get some more really good houseplants going in here. Hi, Goldie. Hi, honey. Sit. Lay down. Hi. Oh, thank you. That's disgusting. Okay, sit. Come. Oh. Thanks for that. Okay. Goldie's gonna do this video with me, I guess. So, hi, honey. What was I saying? Anyway, I think, oh, she is shedding. Great. I'm gonna have to brush you. Yes, we are. Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know what the deal is with gardeners not being good houseplant keepers, but I am hoping to be able to get more houseplants, figure out the ones that will work the best for here. And I love the fact that houseplants will clean the air for you, and with the chimney going, you know, all this, the fire going and everything, I just feel like it'd be really nice to have them. So we'll see how this does. I probably will take this guy out to the greenhouse for the summer because it needs about 80 degrees most of the time. And yeah, hopefully it'll work. I have some more pansies. I have some more petunias, and I actually think this petunia already has a flower starting on it. So I'm probably gonna pinch off whatever flowers we get. That's not really a great thing, but this is their final pot. So I may have to put the ones that are really big into some hanging baskets and get those growing so we can not have them flowering. And then this shelf and this shelf are peppers, and these are definitely a little leggier than I had hoped that they would be, but part of that is because I didn't get them transplanted soon enough. And again, mostly that's just because of timing on my part, but they're gonna be fine. They're gonna grow great. We'll just, when we plant them in the ground, we'll probably plant them a bit deeper, and most of these are gonna come out and go into more of a single pot like this, and so we'll plant them a bit deeper. I do have this is some marshmallow root here, which is a really great herb, and then I have some larkspur in here, which is a good cut flower. We plan on starting a lot more herbs and a lot more flowers than what we have going so far. Most of the time, I don't start very many plants until this time, like March. And part of the reason is I haven't had grow lights before, so I'm excited to be able to have those, but you see the problem. Like, I don't know how many new grow lights I have this year, but it's a lot. I have 2 full new shelves that I've never had before, and I'm still taking up all the other space. Now, again, part of the reason is because we are going to be having a plant sale, so you know, we need a lot more plants. But the other thing is that We want to pack our garden out this year and be able to produce more food than we ever have before for canning and preserving and eating and sharing and all of that. So that just takes a lot more plants. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'll show you a close-up of this in just a second, but I'm actually going to sit here for another minute and I'm going to tell you about the plants that are out on the porch. The dryer is going and the heater is going out there, so it's just really hard to talk over that. So on the top shelf, we have a whole bunch of pansies, and you can tell a lot of them have died. That's because the heater got shut off and the door got left open on the porch on one of the coldest nights that we had. We were having an issue with our door like not staying closed through the night, and what is your deal? What is it tickling? And so unfortunately a lot of those plants out there got way too cold. So part of that is what happened. And then also between all the craziness, I actually forgot to water for 2 or 3 days out there. And you can tell those poor pansies definitely suffered from that. Whoops. And the next shelf down, we have some peppers and some petunias. And then we have some really great salad greens, which definitely need to be potted out. So that whole tray of salad greens is actually going to be broken up into bits and put out into the greenhouse, and then it will grow really quickly once it's out there, and we will be able to harvest salad very soon. If I would have realized how quickly they would have grown, I probably would have put them into some actual like potting soil, but you just never know. You never know if it's going to be a really snowy, cold time. I mean, sometimes it's already mud season and we've had it for a while. This year, it's just very snowy, so they are still out on the porch. We also have some goji berries going and some other miscellaneous plants on that shelf. And then we have on the bottom shelf, we have peppers, which are jalapenos, as well as 3 different kinds of celery growing. And the celery is one of the plants, that tray there is one of the ones that got hit the hardest when that door got left open. And then the last tray is just a whole bunch of random herbs and flowers. They're ones that are perennial for the most part, and so they take a really long time to get going, and so that's kind of what we've done there. So that's kind of a look at what we have on the porch, and I have one last set of plants to show you, so let's go do that now. Okay, so I told you guys I have plants everywhere. It's crazy. So this is my piano, and I have this heat mat here. I was not actually planning on keeping the heat mat going, but I'm kind of decided to run a little bit of a trial here to see how it affects the peppers in the house, depending on if they have the heat mat and the warm light or just the warm lights. And so I think we have our answer, because look at these guys. These are huge. They were moved over at the same time. They were all started at the same time as all the other peppers I've shown you. And they are just like huge. They're doing so good. Even these ones that like have just sprouted, I just feel like they're just doing so good. Back here we have some lemongrass, which I plant using the Charles Dowding method for a lot of stuff. If you guys haven't checked that out before, I would definitely suggest looking him up and checking out his videos on YouTube here. I will warn you, this is what happens. You get so many plants when you do it that way, but it saves a ton of space, which is why I'm using it this year. So all these lemongrass, those are all going to be separated into individual pots as soon as I can afford the space or the greenhouse is warm enough. And then I have some Cape gooseberries. I'm a little confused on the Cape gooseberries. They look like ground cherries to me. They're called Cape gooseberries. So I don't really know the difference between the two of those things, I guess. But you really only need one of these plants in your garden, because they produce buckets of these little tiny cherry, like teeny tiny cherry sized, not tomato. They're not really like a tomato. They're more like a tomatillo, but they're sweet, so you can just like eat them. But they're in a husk like a tomatillo. But they're really fun to grow. They can get really big. Their branches
go out way far, and so it's kind of a sprawling plant, but anyway, it's kind of a fun plant to have. So I planted lots of those, probably more than I had planned on, but they all sprouted, so there they are. And then these guys, this is eggplant, which I can't believe how big they are. They're just trucking along. I think I'm gonna have to put them in bigger pots though, because they're just going nuts. I did notice just now some leaf curl on that guy. I'm not sure why that is, but I only just planted these guys and restarted them last week, so they're still kind of in recovery mode, and they had been in those pots with just the soil, like the seed starting mix, for so long. Like, that's not awesome. That's not the best thing, but you know, sometimes life gets a little out of hand, and you just have to just roll with it. So I'm not that worried. I do plan on starting several more seeds. Pretty much all our tomatoes, all the herbs, and all the flowers, besides some like really quick growing ones. They're all going to be started this week, so I'm really excited about that. If I have time, I'll take you guys along with me for starting all of those, and or at least starting some of them. I think if I took you guys along for starting all of my seeds this year, you might get a little bored, a little burnt out. So we'll keep it exciting, right? Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera real quick. I'm gonna show you a close-up of this one shelf I was talking in front of. So see the difference between these peppers and the ones I just showed you over there? I mean, these are just huge, vastly different with no heat mat. So I think that makes a big improvement. So these are all peppers. These ones are really pretty. Sugar Rush Peach is what those are. If you guys haven't tried those peppers, they're really yummy. Kind of spicy, but really yummy. Then these are the petunias. Look, let's see if I can show you. There it is. Yep. Oh yeah, there's a flower there. There's a flower right there. And another one. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. And then these are the pansies and violas as well. I really don't think that starting things too early does much good normally. It just takes up a lot of space, and you end up with a lot more plant issues. You can get more fungal disease, or just all kinds of problems can crop up when you're starting plants really early. But with the pansies and the petunias, I'm telling you guys, time is money. Like, it makes such a huge difference. I've never had this much success with these plants before. I'm really, really happy that we started them as early as we did. So yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video today. I know it's a little bit of a different video and a little shorter video, but I'd rather do some short ones this week and kind of update you on everything that's going on, because spring is about sprung, and there's so much work to do. I'm excited. I really am excited. But I'm also like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to hit the ground running, and I am soaking up this very last week or two of winter, because winter break is just about over, and spring is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do lots of fun stuff this summer and this growing season together, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. And this is the first year we just get to plant in the raised beds, and so we're gonna have like so much extra time, and not having to build those. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good year. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Don't forget to learn and grow. I'll see you in the next one.